Hi people. I've been playing Mortal Shell for the last few days and I want to make at least one let's play video to show you the game a bit. It's a new Souls-like RPG with harder mechanics and honestly, I love it. If you find my video useful or likable, harden your shell and attack that like and subscribe button. The game starts as you being an empty shell. There is a trophy for beating game bosses without using any shell, and that is not the most easiest task, let me tell you that. I will leave that for my second playthrough and just enjoy the first one. Main game mechanic is the harden mechanics. Basically, you can harden yourself and defend from any incoming attack. Of course, you cannot spam that, so you need to use it wisely, unlike me in this first video. I also try exploring everything, but there is nothing here, so don't waste your time. And finally some weapon. Your first weapon is a sword. It's kinda slow, but it's not bad. So, while having a sword, now you can harden while attacking. This is something that I often use. Basically, you just attack, harden yourself, then wait for an enemy to attack, it bounces off, then you can continue your combo. It's awesome. Of course, it takes some time to get used to it. Here you will encounter your first boss and yes, you can beat him. It unlocks the trophy, but you can leave that for your second playthrough. It's easier that way. Yeah, he wiped the floor with me. I mean, it's not so bad, but you need to get used to these hardened mechanics. When you die, you will be teleported into the first area of the game. There we are. This is Falgrim, your first area of the game. It's a big forest area, and honestly, I've been lost for like 90% of the time in here. All areas are like the same here, except some of those, but two biggest areas of the game, they're just so confusing. Also, when you get out of the hole, now see this. You're vulnerable for a second, you cannot do anything. If some enemy occurs to be near you, then, well, you're screwed. This will kinda be your first checkpoint if you die. And you will die, believe me. Just on the left here, you will find your first shell. Now the game gets a bit easier, but still, you need to learn all the mechanics. This is Harros. I know you're not Super Mario, but pick up any mushroom you come across, because they regenerate your health and they can also regenerate in the forest. In here you can find your first vision. Basically it shows you the way where first Harden went. And that is where we need to go. But before that, just go here and pick up all the items you can find, and just near the tent there is a chest where you can find your Simple Lute, which you can play. Using every item here raises the familiarity with that item, and for the trophy you need to raise all the familiarity with all the items, which can be raised. I also thought you can destroy your objects, but no can do here. Yeah, just go straight. Going straight will take you to the Falgrim Tower, where you can find Sister Genessa, and that is your checkpoint. Later on it will also be a teleport point, but for now just go forward and kill those small minions. They're quite easy, just go and kick their asses. Also keep practicing your harden skills. So basically when you attack, press the L2 button and it will harden, then they will kick you, then you can continue with your combo. I think it's the safest way. You can also run and attack with R2, that way you will jump and then you can harden in the air. Also a good move. If you find this first weapon kinda slow, don't worry, soon you will find new weapons and you can choose whatever you like. For me, it was a dual hand weapon and this was just too slow for me. It didn't fit. Now this is excellent. You can play your lute and you can call your enemies towards you, or you can also unlock a trophy. If you find an enemy that is also playing the guitar, you can do the same and yeah, well, play with them and you will unlock the trophy. It's good to explore every part and every bit of this map and all the maps. There are quite a lot of hidden items, upgrades and everything, but I will also cover that in next videos to come, so don't worry about it. There is also a point of no return and some missable items, so be sure to check my guide to see what is missable and what you can miss in order not to do so. Now, these items, these glimpse items, there are quite few categories of those, and each one of those grants you some glimpse. Glimpse is alongside of the experience. You see, I have 220 experience. Alongside of that, it's needed for upgrading your shells. Now check this. These are the locked chests. I mean, it's only one now, but you find many of those in this area and they cannot be unlocked unless you kill the boss in one of 3 next areas. So not here in this forest, but in the crypts or in the next 2 areas. When you do so, you will activate different kind of mod in the game. Some enemies will change, and then you can actually unlock those chests. And there we are. This is the Falgrim Tower. This is the place where you can find some NPCs. Some NPCs will come here later. This is Sister Genessa. She can upgrade your shells, and when you fully upgrade your shell, then you can buy items from her. So this is a good thing to do first, because you can buy an item that can teleport you. So basically, when you find a sister in some area, you can teleport between those.
Curiosity you are. Wearing a mat like a shell. You've awakened him, but you know nothing of him yet. Fetch me one of his mementos, and some tar too, and I'm sure we can stir up some recollections. Of course, first you must find his name.
Also notice the crypts here, the tombs. You can inspect those and you can see where the hardened enemies went. Oh no, for this one you will see where the location of the shell is. I suggest doing this first to find the perfect shell that match your playstyle. Upstairs you can find some different things. You can find 3 more weapons. I mean, they're not here, but if you inspect them, you can see where the hardened boss thingies went, and then you can find them, kill them and get the weapon. That alongside of the shells is the first thing you should do in this game. That way you can select or choose your weapon which you prefer, and yeah, you can upgrade that one alongside with shell, of course. On the opposite side you can find a workbench, and here you can upgrade your items, and you can also develop a crossbow, long range weapon, but for that you need to visit one of the merchants and buy it from him. This is your NPC, which requires you to bring back some glimpses that you will get from some later bosses, and yeah, free him and he will reward you with a parry key item. Tarnished Seal, yeah, that one now you can use. by if you look at the lower left corner, you will see the 2 orange bars. You need 1 orange bar to successfully parry the attack from the enemy. So basically, when enemy attacks, you can press L1 in the perfect moment, you can parry them and you can counter them. That will also heal you. Also, you can use those orange bars to perform a special attack with your weapon, but for that first you need to find the weapon upgrade and unlock that on the workbench. And those are quite the game changer, I would say. I noticed that like in the middle of the game, but yeah, when you use those, you're not vulnerable to attacks, and the game gets quite easier with using those. I think it's much harder to parry the attacks because you cannot parry everything, and instead you can just spam those specials. Notice the item on the floor here. This is your first key item for your weapon recovery. So if you have some different weapon equipped, so not this sword, then you can use this weapon. It has unlimited use and you can call your, well, this weapon. And this happened as well. This happened when I died. When you die, you will get this mask and basically you can use that mask to return to your last visited sister. But this one will take away your glimpse. It will take away half of your glimpse, so take care with this. Now you will see what I was talking about. So you go through the hall and now you cannot move for like 5 seconds. And the enemies can, so yeah, you're screwed. If they hit you, they will hit you, you cannot avoid that. I will follow this path to reach the first in-game boss, but first, now if you look down you can see your first inspection, shrine, tomb or whatever that is. You need to inspect all of those to unlock secret lore in this game, and there are also hidden items on the walls that you need to hit to reveal, but in this video I will not show those. I will do that later. This is a good opportunity for one more trophy. It's by playing the lute when some enemy is also playing the lute. So take your lute out and jam! Roasted rat is also something you will need for one trophy, so don't spend that. But it's a common item, you can get it from the camps and by killing those small thingies. And Quenching Acid, yeah, that one is upgradable item that you need to use to strengthen your weapon. I saved those until I found my best weapon that I will use, and then I spent all of them on those and just upgraded to maximum. And Superior Moonshine is also required for one more trophy, so save this. But it's also more or less common item in this area. This effigy item is used to transform to one of your shells. So you have 4 kind of those effigies, and when you unlock all 4 shells, then you can, well, if you're somewhere and you don't have access to your shells, you can use that item to transform to that shell. There is also a simpler way to reach your first boss, but I use this one and just collect a few items along the way. You can do the same, I don't know, whatever you like. Basically you can just run through this area, but I decided to kill those. And also take care of the booby traps on the floor. I stepped on them for like a million of times. I also think that every enemy can drop a glimpse, and like I said, you need those to upgrade your shells. So loot them and yeah, kill enemies basically. You will need the glimpses. The bigger ones of course have the biggest opportunity to drop those. And like 2 of those, not just 1. This game uses kinda similar mechanic as Sekiro, so you can die twice. And in this case, you'll just leave your shell, and then you need to collect fastly. If the enemy hits you, probably you're dead. I like this mechanic, it's quite good. And also, when you die, you leave your shell most of the time, and that is a good healing point. So when you die at the boss, you just go there and do not touch the vessel. Then when the HP depletes, you can use it, you can touch it and collect it back, so you will be healed. And after that you can also die, and after that you can also recollect. Good thing to know. And the first in-game boss, Grisha. You will now see how it looks like. It's not so bad, it's quite easy actually, but it will take some time to get used to it. It's a perfect opportunity to learn the game's mechanics. And to die a couple of times, of course. And in this box on the right side, you will find your first weapon upgrade. Also, there is a faster way to reach this area. It's just straight forward from the lower door on the Falgrim Tower. Anyway, I will leave you to it, I will kill this boss, and after that the video is done. Thank you for watching, and probably next videos will be how to collect something or part of the trophy guide, or maybe I will do one more let's play video. I will see. Thanks for watching, bye!